Hi, I'm Scott Neihart, and the book I read was Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. This is the first book in a series called A Song of Fire and Ice. The genre is fantasy, but not extreme fantasy. It's pretty realistic for being a fantasy novel. This book follows the Stark family and mainly their journey in the Seven Kingdoms. And the Stark family rules Winterfell. And the main kind of conflict of this book is the king's hand, or the right-hand man of the king of the Seven Kingdoms, passes away, calling for Eddard, who is the head of the Stark family, to leave his position at Winterfell and serve as the right-hand man of the king. Any more than this, then would give away a lot of the plot. But as you can tell, this splits up the family, and some of them stay and some of them go. And as the plot thickens, you see the views of these family members and even some of their enemies. And this leaves the Seven Kingdoms quarreling at the end. And there's a threat of those beyond the North Wall, which guards the Seven Kingdoms. And you don't really know what the threat is, but winter is approaching, and with that comes the threat of those beyond the North Wall. This genre drew me in because it's fantasy, and I like fantasy books. And also the reputation of the show and the books drew me in. I've heard both are really great, and I wanted to read them as well. I'm also kind of a book first person, and so I didn't want to watch the show first and then read the book, because I always think the books are better than the show. This book is great. There's deep characterization, there's complex plot lines, there's hangers at almost every end of the chapter, and you're always wanting to know more about the characters and the plots that are developing throughout the whole book. And the great thing about this book is you follow more than one character, so each chapter is a new character and his thoughts about the plot lines. This is awesome because, as you can tell, you get more than one character perspective, and this really changes the whole novel because you see both sides of some of the plots and some of the conflicts throughout the book. I also really like this because it's a series of books, and it's a great, deep fantasy novel with great characters and exciting plot lines. And because of this, I would recommend it to anyone who likes fantasy novels or deep books, and I would give it a 5 out of 5. This book is not for those who do not like long, drawn-out novels with deep texts. So if you're one of those people that don't like big, thick books, then you're not going to appreciate it, or anyone who does not like fantasy novels. So one thing about this book that I really enjoyed was kind of the grim humor that this author portrays in the book, and so I'm going to read a passage of some of this grim humor. "Let me give you some counsel, bastard," Lannister said. "Never forget what you are, for surely the world will not. Make it your strength, then it can never be your weakness. Armor yourself in it, and it will never be used to hurt you." Jon was in no mood for anyone's counsel. "What do you know about being a bastard?" "All dwarfs are bastards in their father's eyes." "You are your mother's true-born son of Lannister." "Am I?" the dwarf replied, sardonic. "Do tell me, my lord father. My mother died birthing me, and he's never been sure." "I don't even know who my mother was," Jon said. "Some women, no doubt. Most of them are." He favored Jon with a rueful grin. "Remember this, boy. All dwarfs may be bastards, yet not all bastards need be dwarfs." And with that, he turned and sauntered back into the feast, whistling a tune. When he opened the door, the light from within threw his shadow clear across the yard, and for just a moment, Tyrion Lannister stood as tall as a king. I really like this passage. It gives great thought into a lot of the lessons that are learned in this book, and it's also got a grim humor to it, as most of the book is grim, but there's always that light humor side to it too. Again, I would recommend this book to anyone who likes fantasy novels, and it's been a great read. Thanks for watching.